Hey, it's Styles from Brand Content Studios. Here's your content marketing quickie for the week of January 21st, 2020. Okay, granted, Kevin Toomey is a fan of traditional marketing and advertising who's not stoked about revenue being diverted from that and going to influencer marketing. But I've talked several times here about influencer marketing's dubious issues, and he makes a good case in Ad Age. What bothers him most is how it's been so recklessly adopted. Remember why influencer marketing was supposed to be so awesome? Authenticity and transparency, right? But few things are less authentic and transparent than influencer marketing. The assumption was an influencer endorsement carried the same weight as a recommendation from a trusted friend, which 92% of consumers turn to for referrals. But influencers are indeed not personal, trusted friends. Brands lost their minds giving money to influencers. It's estimated by 2022, up to $15 billion will be spent on them. This, even though 84% think showing the ROI of it still can't be proven. But you get access to their massive audience, right? Influencers buying fake followers is a huge problem. IG Audit is a tool that finds fake Instagram followers, and researcher Andrew Hogue says 20 to 30% of influencers will be artificially inflating their metrics in some way. They think Instagram alone has over 95 million fake bot accounts. So there are plenty of fake followers to buy. I could do that. I could make myself feel great and screw you over. I just don't. And Kevin points out that really, influencer content is advertising, just sneakier advertising with no oversight. Prizology found almost half of us don't know the code words influencers use to technically reveal that a message has been paid for. You might not exactly live in fear of them, but there are Federal Trade Commission guidelines. And of course, you're putting your brand's reputation and credibility into what could be slimy hands. And doing so, going back to the word Kevin originally used, recklessly. This whole content marketing thing mostly sprang up out of a desire to do better SEO. You know, publish a lot of blogs packed with keywords, get some backlinks, then watch your site rocket up to page 8 in Google search results, behind everyone who paid for placement. Well, if you're still into all that, there's a guy named Mike Murray, who at least would like you to know some of the bigger myths out there right now about search engine optimization. The goal is to get people to stop killing themselves over things that really don't matter, and to help them focus more time, money, and resources on things that might actually help your brand. Myth: you should focus on quality content and don't worry about keywords at all. No, keywords are still a thing. Think of them as the Google Maps that direct people to the content of yours that they want to get to. But you're going to have to find keywords and long-tail phrases that you have a prayer of ranking for, and that has become nearly mission impossible. By the time many people find keywords they can compete in, they've moved far away from what their content is actually about, which isn't good either. Myth: you'll get delisted for keyword stuffing. Do not overuse keywords to the point where it's obnoxious and noticeable to the reader. But Mike hasn't seen any evidence that sites full of keywords get punished if the experience is good. Myth: Google penalizes duplicate content. Boy, when I was at IHG, this was a hot topic of debate. But again, Mike can't prove there's a penalty. But if it's a problem, it's mostly a problem for e-commerce sites with the same product descriptions on countless sites. But again, there are plenty of sites with duplicate content that rank top 10. Myth: Keywords in the footer will boost your rankings. Nobody really knows, but it can't hurt, especially if you had nothing in your footer before. But search engines don't really overreact to content and navigation or footers. Myth: SEO page titles shouldn't be more than 60 characters. Some of us make short page titles so the words don't get cut off in search results. Others don't care, because even words that aren't seen are seen by search engines. Myth: Google opposes keywords in domain names. Well, they used to, a little bit, back in 2012. It actually helps, a little, to have a keyword or two in your domain. Myth: SEO is set it and forget it. One and done. Well, ranking factors change all the time, so trying and tweaking should be ongoing. Like Grey's Anatomy, it never ends. Let's say you produced a wacky sitcom called My Fairy Dog Mother, about a fairy that can only appear as a golden retriever who gives guidance to a kooky young girl just starting her fashion design career in New York City. You get it on a cable channel or streamer. It gets good reviews. People love it. Then you get a notice from the cable channel saying your show has been designated fake news. Their algorithms determined that dogs can't talk, and there are no such things as fairies. So your program is being removed. Well, that's just about the dumbest, craziest thing you ever heard, right? Well, that's what Instagram is doing. A writer who apparently has one name, Mix, tells us in the Next Web that the platform has started flagging and hiding images that have been photoshopped. What the Photoshop? Petapixel tells how Toby Harriman's a photog in San Francisco, and he was doing what you do. Scroll through your feed, looking at other people's artistic photos, when he saw one flagged as false information. It was a dude standing on a rainbow hill. Now, sane people know he's not really standing on a rainbow, and the photo is clearly a work of artistic expression. But Instagram's notice said independent fact-checkers say this is false. The primary claims in this information are factually inaccurate. Instagram's image-matching technology flags images, then a human fact-checker decides if it's misleading. Instagram says they feel a responsibility to let us know a piece of content has been debunked. So, from now on, does art have to adhere to representing the real world only? We are really getting into dystopian territory here. Is fake news a problem? Yes. Are deepfakes a rising, scary crisis? Yes. Should social platforms really be held accountable for how everyone uses it? Debatable. Are all fake things evil or harmful? No. Baby Yoda is fake, y'all. Most art is technically fake. We're going to a place where machines will decide if your art is art or a deceitful lie. And hey, please don't make a sitcom called My Fairy Dog Mother. Lastly, and quickly, got something for you B2B marketing maestros who love you some LinkedIn for prospect finding and development. David Cohen reports in Adweek that the Microsoft-owned platform rolled out 3, count 'em, 3 new features for your brand pages there, of which there are only about over 50 million. The first one is invite to follow. If you're a page admin, you can invite any of your first-degree personal connections to follow your page. They did this because users were saying one of the biggest problems they have with the brand pages is it's very hard to grow relevant followers and get engagement there. I found that to be true of my Brand Content Studios page. Without any way to grow it organically, it's been the least effective social channel for me. I'm sure it'd be different if I poured money into it, but damn it, content should count for something. Caveats to this new feature: LinkedIn members can opt to not get any page invites from their connections, so that would cut you off at the knees. And you can only do 50 invites a day, so it stops you from freaking out. Next, you've got LinkedIn live streaming coming to all pages with targeting using third-party tools like Wirecast, Social Live, and Restream. You can even test your stream to make sure it works before you go live. Brands that have been using LinkedIn Live have gotten 7 times more reactions and 24 times more comments than regular video posts. The third addition I especially dig. We admins can share page updates from our profiles on the home page. There's a toggle switch on the share box, so you can select what you want to post as, you or your page. I love a good toggling. That's the Content Marketing Quickie for this week. I can think of all kinds of things to ask you for, but really, it's still to subscribe and spread the message this lovely little podcast exists. Back next week.